Breaking news here on Martyn Lucas Investor, NVIDIA, ticker symbol NVDA. It is breaking news today because it's a move that has shocked the market. I've been speaking to some very well-connected people today in Wall Street through my X and Instagram, on Bloomberg and my CNBC contacts and my CEO contacts. And people have been shocked today and surprised today at the rotation back. Why? I've no idea. Let me explain what exactly happened. And if you've not been watching all our NVIDIA videos, I like saying that, NVIDIA videos, you'll be a bit behind the curve, a little bit like the Fed are. Let me start with this story. 18 months ago, I said in the summer of 2024, we would get rate cuts. And about 2 months ago, I said we'd get rate cuts of 0.5%. I've never changed. I'm not going to change. Basically, it's all about the numbers. Unfortunately, in the game of the stock market, manipulation and people making up stories and overreacting is guaranteed. And that can dictate the stock movement. Does not dictate the companies. The company's performance is down to the workers, the people, the innovation, the CEO, and that's it. The stock price just gets ahead of itself or catches up or gets overreacts or whatever. What we've got now is been inevitable. It's not a surprise to me, and I'm going to prove to you with my own money that it's not a surprise because I've gone all in with margin. Not today, already. I already knew this was going to happen. So let's explain exactly what's going on today. A week or so ago now, pretty much to the day, we had a huge crash around the world to do with the carry trade. We've explained what the carry trade is. Essentially, people had borrowed money on the cheap yen and used margin, got over leveraged, and then they all got liquidated and they bought US stocks. The whole thing came crashing down. Was that because the businesses were rubbish or people are greedy and they borrowed cheap money? Yeah, it was because people borrowed cheap money and they got over leveraged and the whole thing fell apart. That's what happens. That's macro conditions, not the business. That's why I went all in. And I will demonstrate that I'm all in. I have no cash left. I've got nothing in the bank. I am 100% in. I'm living on my Robinhood account. And there is my margin, $81,471. $81,000 of margin. I bought my first house for $40,000. So considering I started with $5,000 3 years ago, 81,000 margin, I think that's about as bullish as you can get. However, it's still very measured and I'm very happy with that. I have looked at the balance sheet, the numbers, and I believe that NVIDIA is going to $200 a share. That's what I believe based upon the sales of what I'm hearing, what I'm talking to people about. That's where we believe it's going. So what happened? Everything dumped off. All quality stocks got dumped. And that is the bottom line story here. People dump the quality stocks. Apparently 1 minute they love all these stocks, NVIDIA and Amazon and Apple. But next minute it's a load of rubbish. It all got too expensive. We all dumped it. This is what I say over and over again on the show. Wall Street are traders, manipulators, and scammers half the time, not investors. I am an investor. I own businesses that work for me. So they all dumped them. And then what did they do? They bought the Russell, a load of rubbishy stocks at the bottom of the pile, and the Russell popped up. And now people have decided, hang on a minute, let's get out of that. We made some money on the Russell. Where are we going to put our money? Let's buy quality again. As I've always said, quality, the cream always rises to the top. People are buying back. Now, I've been speaking to some people today on Instagram, and I've already made this announcement about 2 months ago. There are billions of dollars on the sidelines waiting to come in. But you have to remember, people with billions of dollars, millions of dollars, very wealthy people don't risk their money. They don't need to. They can earn a lot of money just by parking their money and earning high interest. I mean, flipping heck, even on Robinhood, you can earn 5.25% with doing nothing. So if you've got millions or billions of dollars of money, why would you even risk it? There's no point. Whereas you and I were trying to build a portfolio to millions and billions, maybe. So we have to take risk. So they've been parking their money and now they're starting to pile in. It hasn't even begun yet. The full AI gold rush hasn't even started. It's about to begin. This is just the beginning, because what we've got now is, as I have said, and today proved it, but here comes a warning, so don't switch off just yet. There's a big warning right now. It's not all a gold rush and we're all going to win, we're all going to get rich. It never works that way, of course, ever. This morning, as expected, no surprise, we got PPI. PPI this morning came in lower than expected. The consensus was 0.2, 0.1. What happened there? What have I been saying for 18 months? As I've traveled around the world, I've got to meet people and understand how societies work. In the Fed in the United States use data-dependent information, which is backward-looking, out of date. I don't know why they do it, but they do, and they're behind the curve. However, unlike other countries, the United States is able to withstand a little bit late and behind the curve. No surprise today that PPI came down lower than anticipated, and the market have gone, oh my God, the US economy is stronger than we thought. Up it goes. I want to buy quality. I want to get back in, and they're buying the Mag 7. They're buying NVIDIA. They're buying the quality stocks. I'm not doing that. I'm buying the S&P because the S&P's got everything else in it that hasn't moved very much, okay? Now, we know all of this because we've been following the economy for 3 years. We've been reading balance sheets. We're covering every earnings possible. I'm now covering 4 earnings a day. I mean, who else does 4 earnings live a day, plus 12-hour streaming? I don't know if anybody else is that mental enough to do it, but that's what I do. So I've picked up a thing or two, right? I've got a few CEOs of friends. I've got a few managers in Wall Street and hedge funds and people that work at these places telling me stuff, which I share on X and Instagram. So anyway, that's what's going on right now. Now then, here's the warning. Here's the warning. No surprise, everything is great. But let's remember one little thing, shall we? As we mentioned at the beginning of this video, greed and profit taking is always a concern, because Wall Street and all the analysts on Bloomberg and CNBC who say, oh, we should buy Apple. I love Apple, until I don't. All right. Okay. Are going to get very greedy in about 5 minutes. They're going to start taking some profit. And the reason for that is one, they don't really believe in what they own. They're just greedy and they just want to take profit wherever they can. I don't do that. I hold, and I want to sell in 10 years, and I want to sell a great business to somebody else who now owns a great business. There's something nice and comforting about that. Anyway, that's just me. The issue is tomorrow morning we have core inflation. We have CPI tomorrow. Now, if you've been with me for the last 3 years, you will know that these numbers don't often go together. They should, but they don't, and people will manipulate them and use them. Now, we have seen PPI come in favorable and everything goes up. Then the following morning we get CPI and boom, it goes back down again. So be very, very careful. Now, some of you, one of my members today said he's following me and he loves watching my portfolio keep breaking all-time highs. And we started with $5,000 and now I'm at just about 104. I've never shorted a stock. I've never done options. I'm following you. I've gone all in like you have. Hang on a minute. He's gone all in with margin on NVIDIA. Now, I love NVIDIA. It's a big part of the S&P. It's about 6.7%. However, I also like a lot of the other businesses as well. So I'm all in on margin, 80 grand plus on the S&P. I'm not all in on NVIDIA alone. I would never go all in on any stock with margin or without margin. Definitely not with margin. Because here's what's going to happen. I've been spot on with my predictions for the last, when it comes to rates, the last 18 months. But I've been spot on with my predictions for the S&P and the general economy for the last 8 months. Before then, not so much. I made a lot of mistakes when I first started. I traded a lot, made a lot of mistakes. Now I'm just an investor and I just buy the macro dips and hold. But this is my prediction. This is what I think could happen. If you are a trader and you don't really believe in NVIDIA or don't really believe in anything, you just want to take money. There's nothing wrong with that. No one ever lost making money. Please feel free to sell your NVIDIA now. You've made a good chunk of money today. What I suggest you do, however, and remember you've only got 27 minutes left to do this, is use a stop trail order. We could get a bit more of a rise into the close. A stop trail order only works during the main opening hours. It doesn't work after hours. A stop trail order will move up. Now, what you need to do is rather than a stop loss, rather than just saying at 109 I'm out or 110 I'm out, because the trajectory of this stock is upward, bullish, and it's in my opinion going to $200. If you set a stop trail order, it'll trail up. But what you do need to do, because you can trigger a stop trail order in seconds and go, well, that wasn't much fun, it didn't go up anymore, is you need to look at the swings that we've got here and see, okay, it's moving, let's say it's moving 1%, 2%. Don't get greedy, put in 3%. That way, if it moves 3%, you'll sell, because that's one of the bigger moves of the day. Or if it goes up, it will just keep dragging that price up with it, but it will have to be executed before the closing bell, which is in 25 minutes. After that, it won't work. It'll just stop, okay? It cancels. You've got to do it during the opening hours. Now, that would be a good idea if you are a trader and you don't care about the stock, you don't see it going up to $200, trade it. However, if you bought it this morning on your main account, you're going to pay 20% tax. At the end of the year, your brokerage will contact the IRS or Inland Revenue in the UK, and you will end up, they'll declare your profit, and you'll lose 20% of that money. However, if you'd waited a year, you pay a lot less. And also, remember, if you believe it's going up to $200, you've left a lot on the table. And then it'll have a dividend put to it, and it'll be just a stock like Apple. You'll own it for life. All right, in my opinion, that's just up to you. So just bear that in mind. Or you could just hold it. And the reason why I'm suggesting a stop trade order, if you own the stock individually and if you are on margin, is because tomorrow we could wake up with volatility. Because tomorrow there's going to be CPI. We had PPI today. Tomorrow we've got CPI and more data. Now, I'm very confident, very, very confident it's going to be great. And the stock will go up. And I'm not bothered. Hence why I'm all in margin and I'm not selling anything. However, overnight or early in the morning, remember you can access these stocks 24 hours a day on certain brokerages like on Robinhood. There will be people who dump and take profit, who drive it down to buy it again. Very often people say, why did the stock go down when it's all bullish? Well, for the very reason, it doesn't necessarily have to be bad news to drive a stock down. Good news can also drive it down. If we've had a recent rally from nothing, and bearing in mind a week ago we were down so much and here we are today up so much, there's a huge amount of money on the table for the traders in Wall Street. So they'll dump it, knowing they can drive it down, knowing then retail will get fearful and dump, because a lot of people are using margin now. Margin is about to get a lot cheaper. A lot of people are using margin, like our friend we mentioned earlier, gone all in, doubled up, using all the margin possible. A lot of people will get margin called on a stock where they're just making money. But people get greedy, they get over leveraged, and they'll lose money. So retail will be forced to sell. Wall Street will drive it down, and then they'll buy it up after PPI, and it will go up again. So you could just be an investor like me and ride that out, knowing it's likely to drop in the morning or after hours, maybe 3%, maybe 4%, but then go higher. Remember, if your stocks go down and you don't sell, you've never lost any money. Now I'm in with 180,000. I expect to be at $1 million in less than 6 years now with the growth that I've got. Now I've got 180,000 invested because of my 78 in my main account, my 25 in my Roth, and then adding into my margin, which is 81. I've got about 180 grand. That means my portfolio has huge swings. I can go up and down 10 grand in a day. That doesn't mean to say I've lost 10 grand. It just means the stocks have moved that much. And if the market goes up, if we look now at VU today, which is what I am in 100%, the S&P, it's up 1.48. That's all, but I'm up 3.06. That's because I'm in with margin. I could be up double that. I could be up 6% today if I'd gone even more margin, but that's not appropriate because I only want to achieve $1 million and there's no need for me to stretch it. I want to be able to relax and sleep at night. But anyway, this is NVIDIA. An NVIDIA special I wanted to make live. There's also some extra information as well. Talking to my contacts on X, CEOs, hedge fund managers, people at Wall Street, my friends who have lots and lots of money. I've played in Mark Cuban's house. I've done the Jerry Jones Halloween party. I know some successful people. And the belief is there's billions of dollars waiting on the sidelines, still waiting on the sidelines, waiting to come in. People don't gamble, they're waiting. I see that NVIDIA is going to $200. I see that the S&P is a 3x, and I said that before Tom Lee said it. I said it a long time ago, and that's why I am all in. So there's NVIDIA. The other thing I wanted to mention is the chips delay is not a concern. Those that are customers of NVIDIA, there are plenty of chips at the moment and they're buying them and they're not bothered. The earnings is going to be great for NVIDIA. We are going to cover it live, of course. It's going to be a major event on our channel. We do rank now number 1 and 2 in the world for NVIDIA, which is incredible. Used to be Meet Kevin and the big channels. Now it's me, which is incredible when you think we're only at 30, whatever it is 30-something thousand subscribers now. But we are doing more work, going live more than anybody else, doing more earnings than everybody else. And I think what is most important, and let me just share this with you, what is most important is people are starting to realize, if I show you the homepage just for a moment, you will see there is the NVIDIA earnings, August the 28th, 3:10. I think the reason why we're ranking now for this stock and why we're ranking number 1 for many stocks, even though we're a very small channel compared to the big channels, people are starting to realize the people like Graham Stepan, the people like Meet Kevin, the big channel, the millions of channel, the million subscriber channels are there for their own benefit. They're starting to now realize, it's taken 3 years to realize, that I do not do this to sell videos. I'm the world piano man. I am toured with the world as the world piano man, named by Elton John. I've had my own West End show, my own Vegas show, and I'm here to help people, not to sell videos and think I'm a YouTube star. I've met my audience in person around the world. I know what it really means to meet the real audience, not just down the camera lens. So I want to be absolutely clear. There are people trying to sell doom and gloom. Only 2 days ago, Meet Kevin was saying that the stock market would drop 60%. World War III was going to start every day for the last 2 weeks. Not going to happen. And it gets him views. It makes him money and he buys another plane probably. I will never do that. I just tell you how it is. I share with you my real trades, my real money. I'm all in. I've got nothing in the bank other than $10 just to keep my account open. This is real. And I think now people are starting to wake up and realize, okay, something's different here. This is not a YouTuber. No, I'm not a YouTuber. I just used YouTube TV to broadcast. I'm an entertainer. I'm a person that cares about people, and I also know how to make money. It's easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it. That's the hard part. Making money is easy. If you work hard and you work harder than anyone else, and I work harder than anyone else, and I will always work harder than anyone else, and I will never give up because I am here to serve my members. Anyway, that was a NVIDIA special. This will go out as its own video. Thank you very much for all of you that did tune into this. Click above my head, down below in the description. I'll put all the links. Here, I'll put the NVIDIA earnings. Be the first person to join me for the earnings. And down here, I'll put the NVIDIA playlist. Tomorrow morning we'll be live, of course, with CPI or PPI, whatever's next. We'll cover it live, we'll trade it live, we'll invest it live, and we'll be also in the morning for 2 earnings in the morning, 2 earnings in the evening, as there are now going to be every day. It's a new service that I'm providing as of yesterday. All right, fantastic. That's it from me. Thank you very much indeed. Till next time, take care of yourselves and each other.